All right, we'll go ahead and get started. Good morning, everyone. My name is Rena Hicks. I am the Chief of Staff for Delegate Kelly Convirs-Fowler. Thanks so much for being here for this important topic and important bill. So we're going to start with Delegate Kelly Convirs-Fowler. We're going to hear from Delegate Carrie Coyner, Senator Jen McClellan, Jennifer Gaylor. She's the Vice President of Communications for the National Women's Political Caucus here in Virginia, and Payton, Iheme, who is the Bumble Head of Public Policy for North America and Latin America. And for those that don't know, Bumble is a dating app and a social networking app that is women-centered and women first. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the women have to engage first on the app, which makes it, just fun. But we'll go ahead and kick it off to Delegate Kelly Convirs-Fowler.
Thank you, Rena. Thank you all for being here. This issue is extremely important, especially to the women of the Commonwealth. No one should be subjected to any type of harassment. This bill unanimously passed out of the House in 2021, but died in the Senate. It's extremely important in the area of real estate, which is where I work in my full-time day job, where our numbers in real estate are out there for the public, and it has become increasingly a problem within the real estate community. So, getting a random digital indecent consentless picture, which digital indecent consentless picture should be a bipartisan effort. So banning them is our top priority this year, and I am so appreciative of our co-chief patron, Delegate Coyner, and I think she's going to be up next. So I will pass it off to her.
Thank you, Delegate Convirs-Fowler. This is such an important issue. I was honored to hear your bill when it came before the committee I served on last year, knowing what an important issue this was, and really became even more important during COVID, with so many more people not meeting face to face and so much more information being transferred electronically. And like you said, our personal phone numbers being out there, it creates a lot of trauma in the lives of victims of this type of harassment. And we have an opportunity in Virginia to protect women, especially. We know that women are much more likely to be victims of this harassment. So I'm honored to stand beside you again. Hopefully we have some additional success in the Senate, and I'm thankful for Senator McClellan, who I'm lucky enough to represent in the same region as her, so we get to work together a lot. It's great to have bipartisan female colleagues working together to solve problems for women.
Thank you, Delegate Coyner, for your introduction, and I want to thank Delegate Convirs-Fowler for her leadership on this issue. I was pleased to help to the best I could to get this bill across last year in the Senate Judiciary Committee. Unfortunately, we were unsuccessful, but we spent our time, and Delegate Fowler really took the lead on this, looking at how other states have handled this, which is how Bumble got involved when we came across legislation that passed in Texas that seemed like a good bipartisan model that could address the issue of individuals receiving unsolicited lewd pics. We already have laws on the books that protect people from flashing, but flashing basically has gone digital. And this is an issue that is bipartisan. And having served in the legislature under Republican majorities, under Democratic majorities, and under split government, one area where we all can come together is protecting individuals from harassment, because harassment usually can escalate to violence if we are not careful, if we don't nip it in the bud. And so as the oldest deliberative body, it is our job when we see problems, particularly problems that cause trauma, that cause distress, that we take action. And that is what we are doing with this bill. Children are already protected. It is ironic that if you receive one of these pictures and you are 17, you are protected by law. But the minute you turn 18, you are not. And so that is why we have got to fill in this gap. And we are coming together to do that. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Jennifer Gaylor with the National Women's Political Caucus to talk about why they are so interested in this issue.
Thank you, Senator, and thank you all for being here. The National Women's Political Caucus was started as a multi-partisan organization in 1972, and part of our tenets are to uplift and support the lives of women and families around the country. The Virginia Caucus was founded in 2020. We have the exact same goals. We were quite surprised when we learned about this cell phone size loophole in the law. Senator McClellan mentioned, 17-year-olds. I have twin 17-year-old girls. And yes, if they were to receive a lewd photo the day before their 18th birthday, they would be protected, which is wonderful by current Virginia law. But yeah, on their 18th birthday, they would not. So this is an issue for us because, again, we also want to uplift and protect the lives of Virginia women. And we love to partner with legislators who have those same aims. And so we are very, very glad to be working with the lawmakers here. Our members are dedicated to do whatever we need to do to make sure that this passes this legislative session so we can just right this wrong this year. It's been my pleasure over the past few weeks to be working with Payton Iheme. She is from the policy department at Bumble, and they have been instrumental in helping us learn how they have been successful, specifically in Texas, in getting this done. So here's Payton.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. And first of all, I just want to say how honored we at Bumble are to be participating in this conversation with the policymakers and NWPC. It is by no accident that Bumble is working on advocacy in women's spaces. We were founded in 2014 by our CEO, Whitney Wolfe Hurd, and it was established principally because she found that there was a gap. She found that there was a lack of equitable, healthy relationships in the way that men and women were interacting online. Her solve for that, after much trauma that she experienced and heard from users and peer groups, just like those on this call have, was women should take the first lead. Somehow a woman having the first interaction and establishing that contact sets the tone of that conversation and the pace to hopefully make it a better, healthier outcome. The first time that we became working in policy was in 2019 in our home state of Texas, where Bumble is founded. We did a survey among our users, and we found that 1 in 3 of the users on Bumble said that they received one of these unsolicited lewd pics. And of that number, 96% of those people said that it was not something that they requested and something they didn't want. We have that information, we've got anecdotal information, and all of us have been in front of constituents, users, unfortunately, people under 18 as well, who have had this experience. I want to highlight that this is not a dating app issue. This is an internet issue. This is not something that just happens to people who are on dating apps. We are at dating companies standing up for this, but this is something that can get dropped on a cell phone. This is something that you could be on a job networking site and have this happen to you, other social networks. And as some of our policymakers mentioned, there are many women and also men who are public facing. Either they're running for office, in office, real estate agents, et cetera, whose face and phone numbers are out there, and they're also receiving this. And so that's why it's so important for us. We would like to take this across the US, and we've also taken this across the pond in the UK as well. Texas was our first successful bill, but we're also running these bills in Wisconsin. We're also doing California, New York, and my home state, proud to be here, of Virginia as well. So if we can get this done in Texas, we can get this done in other parts of the United States. And again, this is about protecting our women, protecting our children, protecting our men on the internet. We do not have to accept the level of discourse that's happening on the internet. We can help lift that up and make that better. So with that, I would like to turn back our time back to Raina, who I believe is going to be helping us take our next steps.
Yeah, so